the cheeks clap. Clap, 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 clap.
Hello, race fans. Dresden here. It's Wednesday night. It's a very special Wednesday night. The C4 Chapter 2 starts tonight. We are doing the Cheek Clappers Constructor Cup. And if you're joining us this evening and this is your first time here, the Constructor Cup is a 5-team event where CCRL has built 5 teams and they're facing off in custom liveries, and this is round 2, and we're very excited to be here. Joining me as always, Trackside, aka PK, is in the commentary box. How you doing tonight, bud?
Hey, Drez, I'm doing great. I'm excited about this C4 round 2 in Miami. This is one of my favorite tracks. I've been to the GP. It's a fun one to watch both on TV and in real life, and I think we're going to get treated to a great race tonight.
I'm excited for Miami. I was just saying I don't have enough experience here, but I think it's a great American track. Well, at least compared to some of the American tracks from history. I've griped about that plenty, I think, and I'm excited to see another big race here. Let's dive right in. We've got 5 teams on the field, but it's a new format tonight. Let's take a look at that.
Yep, yeah, so tonight we've got the sprint format. It's actually a redemption format. And we will be doing the engineer additional attribute, I guess you would call it. So basically, one of the engineer or the captain from each team will be sitting out this race and will be engineering the drivers throughout the race.
Yeah, there's a lot of spectators on the screen right now. All the team captains, all the fastest drivers on the grid can only watch their guys, their team, doing their best, right? Which is quite a neat little turn of events, right? So I would imagine, a lot of bragging rights for the midfield on the line right now. The Titans have been removed, right? So who's fastest on grid tonight for the midfield? That's going to be fun to watch.
Well, I know. So Rujoff was substituting last cup, correct? So
Yeah.
if he's in tonight again, I could see him doing quite a bit of damage. A couple other guys like Bongit may excel tonight, or Abdul Rahman. We've seen him show some pace in Pro Tier, so
Yeah.
I think it could go a lot of different ways.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like we'll be getting to pay more attention to the midfield guys because normally you have to tell the story of the race and it's up at the front, and you jump back to the midfield guys when something exciting's happened. But now we're gonna get to deeply analyze and look into some of the racers that we don't normally get to follow very often. So that'll be fun. And Rujov not on field tonight. He was a very strong addition to Journey last week. This round 2 for C4, it's Abdul has made it onto Team Journey. And the only other substitutions from the original field is Jay Prince. He'll be on the Green Goblins alongside Shiesty. They're filling in for Mastermind Lindsay and Rob Stark, who was claimed by Winter.
Oh,
So,
you got to watch out for old man
unfortunate.
Winter.
Yeah, Winter was coming, and the Ferrari driver no longer with us. So yeah, it's again the teams look very even. There were some last minute substitutions last week, which may have shifted the strength of the teams a little bit. But when I look at this week's substitutions, I don't get that same feeling. I think they're all built very close. This engineering twist is a bit interesting. So two things. First of all, it is a redemption sprint, which means that the teams with the lowest points out of the first event, which was the Yellow Jackets, are going to be at the front of the field. They're going to be starting, and in fact, P1 will be God Rewinds. Alongside him will be Pontiac Bandit, and in third place, Hemphead.
Yep. So, God Rewinds and Pontiac, both guys we know who, one, have solid pace and two, are pretty consistent. So, yeah, Yellow Jackets last time around scoring 0 points. So, getting a front of the grid start should hopefully help change their momentum a little bit.
Yeah, I had some questions too. So Curveball is the Yellow Jacket team captain, and I had some questions for him. And we were gonna have an interview with him, but some family issues popped up, and he had to make a quick trip to the hospital. But he's back in time for the race. We'll just quickly wish the family speedy recovery and happy health and all that. So. But the questions I had were, you know, did he get to decide which team member started on pole, and what was the strategy behind that, and then and what kinds of things might he be able to help his team with tonight? And when you have three team members to manage, I mean, there's going to be some interesting team orders, I would imagine. I would love to have, a little earpiece and listening to these coaches talk to their teams tonight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, and it's sometimes it's hard to skirt around hurt feelings in these types of scenarios. But I think on this grid, I think these guys know their pace and they know where they fall in. So I see very little drama as far as inter-team rivalries go tonight.
Yeah, there's no hiding from the truth in the racing. It's the thing I love about it is that racing just absolutely lays you bare.
Yeah, the
In front of the
stopwatch,
world.
the stopwatch never lies. So
It doesn't lie. we measure you down to the thousandths of a second. That's how curious we are about how fast you are, and we talk about it all week long. And but that's a good thing, right? Like with all that truth. Becomes like I've said this before. You lay the truth out, and then you can watch the growth, and that's, I think, the other part of racing that's awesome. And speaking of growth, as well, it's only been a month, but man, when I was thinking about these teams, names jumping out at me as feeling stronger than when they were. I mean, even during what was it, during the draft tonight, which was probably 2 months ago. But like names that jump out at me, Bongit and let's see here, Bongit, Abdul feels stronger, and Hemphead lately, I think, has been a little like a name I'm seeing in the midfield points more often. So I think the power of the teams might be evolving a little bit as the season goes on.
Yep. Yeah, we're looking at the drivers' standings right now for the C4, the Constructors' Cup, and names at the bottom. Let me just see, what you think about this, Drez. Guys we typically would expect points from, but are sitting with 0 right now. SP, Hemphead, Mastermind Lindsay, God Rewinds, Shashir, Pontiac Bandit. Those guys are all coming into this race with sitting on 0 points, and so I've got a good feeling that this driver standings table is going to get pretty shaken up tonight.
Yeah. Well, the first chapter in Abu Dhabi it was such a good race, but did leave us with a few people who will be looking for redemption this evening. And some of you mentioned Pontiac Bandit had a DNF. Chapter 1 on the C4 is not something you see very often. He'll be looking for redemption. God Rewinds and Shashir both out in Abu Dhabi. They'll also be looking for a better race tonight. There's no doubt in my mind. Also, I mean, speaking of the first chapter, Lysig Zemilk had an amazing all-night battle. Barney had a great recovery driver. Reimer had good stories. I mean, just it was such a good first race. I'm excited to see what Miami has to offer.
Yeah, it should be great. Yeah, like you mentioned, Pontiac Bandit DNF'd last week, but ended up having the fastest lap. So we know there's pace there, and he could be a guy to watch tonight for sure.
Pace and consistency. Let's zero in there on the Yellow Jackets, right? Oh, actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's look at the points. We better put the teams up and show where they're at right now before we dig in a little bit more.
Yep. So sitting atop the standings, Green Goblins. Right behind them, 2 points. The difference. Speed Demons sitting in second place, and then in third place, 2 points the difference. Phantom F1 sitting at 49 points. So the top three teams there only separated by a total of 4 points. Then we go to Journey in fourth with 29 points, and Yellow Jackets sitting in fifth, currently 0 points on the board.
Yeah, it was a rough night for the Yellow Jackets in Abu Dhabi, that's for sure. And man, sitting on pole, Pontiac Bandit, God Rewinds, Hemphead, all three of them have a big opportunity to turn fortunes around for the Yellow Jackets tonight. And especially with no with all the Titans removed from the field, they have chance to score, podium level finishes. It would be fun to see Yellow Jacket take a big step back towards the field this evening. I would love to see that.
Yeah, I think it's totally doable. You look at the amount of points that were dealt out for just that first round there. And if they get three guys starting at the front of the grid, then by all means, we could see a totally different order coming out of the end of this race.
Yeah.
And more points, right? More points this week because it's a sprint race.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. So starting in reverse order, and then however they finish in the sprint will, I imagine, line us up for the 50% race. So yeah, a lot of opportunity here in Pontiac Bandit Rewinds Hemphead's hands. So now, are you ready to be put on the spot?
Uh-oh.
Can you pick a winner
For today?
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Owa.
Oh man, it's a strong bet. Owa definitely brings the heat. Man, I have a hard time. I keep looking at SP. I feel like he's been driving really strong lately, and I think he's due. But man, Rewinds is in a really great position. We have looks like 13 drivers on grid. Are we missing?
I was just getting ready to jump in there, Drez. It looks like theme of the week, we are having a little bit of connection issue getting everyone into the lobby. So this thing was supposed to kick off right now. So I'm sure we're going to just kind of go on just a 5-minute extension just to get everyone in, and then we'll get this thing rolling.
Hey, we've seen this before. Was there an update last week? or just the servers at EA just decided not to work?
Well,
It's
so
rough.
I've got a theory.
Oh,
I believe they're having started testing F123, and so I think these servers have been, for lack of better terms, abandoned, and they're starting to get everything set up for the changeover here in the next couple months.
man, how is it time to buy another game already? I don't feel like I've got my money's worth out of this one. It's not time yet.
I definitely, yeah, the time goes quickly, but I feel like, yeah, I've definitely gotten my money's worth.
Well, actually, I think I just stopped driving almost altogether at the beginning of this one, so
Yeah.
I've only been commentating now, and maybe that's why. Like, I paid all this money for a game I don't play. Literally,
You
I
just
just
watch.
watch other people play it.
That's the problem I have with my children. I'm like, what? You're just watching people play video games, and then here I am. But
Yeah,
it comes full
exactly.
circle.
Yeah, that's fun. Man, I hope we get them in soon. I'm eager to watch this race. And just a quick note to anybody who also might be watching, welcome, because tonight's going to be an exciting evening. I hope we have a few fans looking for their individual drivers to score some points tonight.
Yeah, if you're in the chat, shoot us a message. We love to know who's out there watching, and if you have any questions, shoot them our way. It's some things we love to cover throughout the race, and we try to. I feel like we do a pretty good job, Drez, of breaking things down, what I would call Barney style, so that even those with a beginner education of Formula One can kind of grasp the understanding, because there are quite a few things that are abnormal in this racing series that you don't find in other types of racing.
Yeah, and for any of you who don't know the childhood show reference, because I think it's like an American phenomenon, Barney does not represent the guy on the grid.
No, he does not.
He's talking about a large purple dinosaur kids show that was famous on Grid. Just in case there's any confusion there. But you're right. Like, I'd love to see, because we take for granted the little details of F1, right? Like ERS, DRS, and the tire offset strategy. Like, we talk pretty fast about things we assume everybody understands, but if people are bringing their families to root for them, there may be some questions out there, and there's no question that's silly. Every one of us had to learn what all these things were. So if you're curious, throw a question in and we'll get to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fun. So, man, I hope Yellow Jackets does well. I want to see that. I want to see Journey find some parity. I'm looking for SP to have a big night. I think he's due. And then I really want to see, I'd love to catch some neat strategy that maybe some neat tire strategy, or just on track good, keeping teammates in DRS range for defense, things like that, like where you really feel like the captain's having a big impact on the race,
Yep. Yeah. So talking about tire strategy here in Miami, I guess it'd be a good time to talk about kind of how those tires dig in at this at the asphalt here in Miami. Track evolution is huge here. It's a very green parking lot before the race structures are set up. So as that rubber gets laid down, the track ramps up. Now, we're not doing qualifying, but what that does mean is that with the track evolution and the very low asphalt abrasion, you can run some very significant stints on the hard and medium tire. And the tire offset does not come into effect as much as it does at other tracks. So you're right. We could see some very cool strategies play out tonight for those opting for a one stop versus a two stop. And ultimately, there's a very good chance of a safety car. So we'll see how that plays in with some of the tire strategy as well.
Yeah, a very good chance of a safety car, a Jetta-esque like circuit, close in walls, a lot of curves. So we'll see a safety car tonight for sure. And I would not want to be the guy making the shots for 3 other drivers, you know, during an unplanned weird safety car. That could get dicey.
Yeah, and we could see some, if they're running as close as we think they might be, we could see some double stacking. I can't remember. Now, how does it work, Drez? Are they?
I have the exact same question in my head.
I would think
just
two.
popped in and
Yeah, I would think everyone there. So I would think there's a pit for every 2 drivers, and who those 2 are, we won't know until it happens. I would think so.
You would think they would put. It's got to be like if we take Yellow Jackets, Curveball would be part of the other team. You know, even though he's not racing, they would have 2 people on Aston Martin and the third guy on a team by himself, right? Because you would hate to see Hemphead on the Yellow Jackets forcing SP on Team Journey to wait.
Yeah.
Though, man, it would be good drama. And, we got the last racer in, and we're readying up. So, look, there's no qualifying. So, we are going to... but there's a formation lap. Okay. Never mind. I was getting race excited, but no, it's not yet time for that.
Well, it's absolutely warranted with the extra 6-minute wait we had there at the beginning. So, our adrenaline picks up, too, as these things start. So, the drivers aren't the only ones.
Oh yeah, I try. I told my wife, I was like, look, if you're gonna get into racing with me, the best thing to do is just go play this video game for a while, until you feel that like adrenaline pick up in your system. Oh, it's the best.
Yep.
I've told everybody before, like I sit all close to my TV so I can like feel the cars racing each other, and like it's just a great hobby.
All right, so we got Comacopa in the chat, rooting for Bong It. So hey, welcome Comacopa, one of our pro tier drivers. Good to see you tonight.
Has had some good battles against Bong It, right?
That he has.
I think. Yeah, fun to root for your rivals. Yeah, okay, so, man, is there anything else to analyze or break down? I don't think so. I feel like we got to all of it. It's just time for us to start some racing now.
Yeah, I think we're ready. The fans are ready. The racers are ready. But the servers are not ready, so...
The slow waiting for players business going on right now, like, just wanted to start. I had fun with Pro Tier this week. The Silverstone was such a good race. It
was a good race. Yep, we had some lower attendance than usual, but we still managed to get a really good race out of it. So that was good.
Yeah. And we still have to wait one more week for Baku.
I know.
And this is drought, like F1, a little bit of a tease this year, right? It's like, here's a race, but now you got to take a week off. And like, here's another race, but now you got to wait like 3 weeks for another one. It's a bit too much of a break there.
Dresden, we're getting a request in the chat to see your cat.
Where is she?
CCRL's mascot.
Yeah, okay. Her name's Momo, right? And all she does is like she just screams at me whenever she's very demanding and does not take no for an answer. But I like her, so what are you gonna do? And you can't call. Has there ever been a cat that you could call and expect them to come on over? I don't think so.
I don't.
All right, it is formation lap time. And yeah, man, the yellow cars lined up in the front, rewinds from Pontiac Bandit, from Hemphead. Abdul is first in line for. So this is an interesting little thing here. Like the Yellow Jackets, I feel like they put fastest first, but Journey may have decided to go a bit different strategy. I think SP might be the fastest there.
That's what I'm
not
kind of
sure,
thinking
though.
too. They've gone opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be a more defensive, middle of the race kind of thing, right? Because if SP can stay tucked in behind Shashir and Abdul, then they've got a DRS mechanic thing going on there. Any other surprises? It's Owa from John the Prince from Shiesty. That's 7, 8, and 9. And then Urban, Feeney, Anyote. That seems about right. Bonget, Walrus, and Antonium bringing up the rear. Yeah, Walrus got a chance to have a big impact too. I think, in terms of outright pace, Rewinds and Walrus may be, they may be the fastest on the grid.
Yep, we've seen Walrus put in some amazing laps in qualifying. It's always been that race pace slash consistency we've needed to see more of from him. So is tonight the night?
Yeah, it is tonight the night. The green. Now I thought the Green Goblins were. Yeah, I thought the Green Goblins would be in the back of the field. Were they not? Oh no, that's. Never mind. I'm getting them confused a bit.
The Speed Demons.
Speed Demons were the top. They were the three were. It's such a neat thing to come out of the first chapter, as well as they're all very, very bunched up. The three teams that lead, separated by 4 points. It's a huge deal. They are lining up. Chapter 2 for the C4 event is going to be underway very, very soon. I'm on board with Abdul here in Miami. We are about to get started. It is 1, 2, 3. Here we go off the line. It's very, very fast for Pontiac Bandit. He's gonna be in the lead into turn 1. And Hemphead got the inside line and bump it. No, I thought there was some contact there, but now a big spin from Shashir around turn 1, and he's completely turned around and won't get underway anytime soon. And oh man, we've already had some big moments on Yote and Feeney.
Yep, and we've got a full course
DNF.
safety car.
Ooh, a rough start to Miami. Oh man, so Anyote and Feeney both out. That's a bit rough here. Feeney Speed Demon and Anyote Phantom. Both those teams crippled here in the sprint already.
Yep, and I can imagine that there are going to be some words said. Those two have a little bit of history, so we'll see what comes out of that.
You know, I peek in occasionally to the Discord because whenever I have some popcorn just laying around ready to be eaten, because if anybody's unaware, like you get it, you have an adrenaline high, and everyone takes it so seriously, and man, tempers can be pretty big after the race. but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh yeah, no, I know as soon as something like that is going on because it sounds like a Karen in a hotel lobby just ringing the bell that my phone does, and so I know something has happened, and so I check in, and most of the time it's the same. You know, it's similar drivers. So
Yeah, I don't let Discord make my phone, or I don't let my phone make noise from Discord. Let's just put it that way.
that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. So up at the front, Rewind's had a rough start, pipped immediately by his two teammates. Actually, Rewinds is
Yes.
ghosted.
Yep. I was just getting ready to say that
Makes more sense.
his game crashed out right at the start, so he is probably working on getting back in, which would explain him dropping back.
Well, he'll be happy about this safety car, that's for sure.
No
That'll give him
kidding.
time to get back in. You know, we've seen that a couple times from Rewinds, and it's unfortunate because it has, like, we notice it because it's had a big impact on his races a few times. So
Yeah, I'm wondering if he
hopefully
lives somewhere like in the backwoods of Maine or something.
Ouch. I'm feeling it. I feel attacked.
I like to poke the bear.
It's fair. It's totally fair. My internet, I mean, well, everyone knows who's been watching the stream. So, Shashier, oh, you know what? Let's do this. Let's take a look at position changes. Shashier, just a rough start and like an agonizingly slow spin for usually the McLaren driver. And just the spin just kept going around turn 3, and I'm betting that dodging him is the reason Agnote and Feeney probably came together.
Yeah, very possible. Turn 3 is very awkward. You're on the throttle, but you can't go completely on the throttle, and the track almost starts to fall away as you get to the outside of turn 3. So it's very clumsy, and I'm not surprised that it caught someone out.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a dangerous, like, almost like a, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a track that's similar for turn 1. It just feels narrow when you're coming in there, right? Because there's so much speed, and you've gotta slow down so much. So yeah, it's unsurprising. Turn 1 incident, and man, the full safety cars in these sprint events, they actually have a huge impact because there's only 10 laps and we're already lap 3.
Yeah, it leaves very little time for any kind of racing. We've brought up the tire display. Everyone on similar tires except for Walrus. He has pitted to put on the softs, so watch him on the restart.
Oh, you know what? There was an engineer with a good call right there because he's in the back of the field. He's in the back of the field, and softs ought to go to the end.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Why not?
Yep.
Why not?
Yeah, roll the dice.
Yeah, for sure. I was hoping to see like some min-maxing going on, right? With good engineering in the background starting to show itself. I hope we see some similar stuff in the 50% race. Hopefully the safety car is in this lap. I am eager, I think I would say, for some racing to begin. Hemphead and Rewinds, okay, briefly inverted. Oh man, I'm on board with Abdul as we...
Yeah, that's the second time I've seen him do that coming into turn 17.
Maybe some unfamiliarity with... Oh, and where's Rewind's vehicle?
Down in 9th.
What is going on with the AI right now? That's very strange.
I think that might have happened there in turn 17, the last turn 17.
Oh man. The picture gave me
Shoo.
getting upsetting. Oh, poor Rewinds. So some work to do for the Yellow Jackets. These disconnects, man, they're very punishing.
Still 2 out of 3 cars running 1 and 2 is pretty good. And you would think with the limited amount of laps to run in the sprint, they should be able to hold off any attack from behind, not getting DRS till probably lap 7 or 8 at this point.
Yeah. Lap 7 or 8, Hemphead. Now, Hemphead suddenly in a position where he can have an enormous impact in this race. If I'm Curveball, I'm talking to Pontiac and Hemphead and just, hold on to 1 and 2, work together. You can hold off Abdul and SP for 3 laps of DRS. Safety car will be in this lap for sure. And we will be back into racing mode very soon.
Yep, and we're starting to see everybody get those tires warmed up. And there we have the message, Drez, race control saying safety car in this lap.
All right, it is time for racing to get back underway here in Miami. I'm on board with Abdul. The battle that's about to take place between Hemphead SP and Pontiac Pontiac and Hemphead versus Abdul and SP is gonna be interesting. We're still looking for some of the faster racers. Walrus on softs to come through the field. We are away very well. Pontiac Bandit just shooting off into the distance. He's 0.8 from Hemphead, who's 0.9 from Abdul, chasing around turn 1 we go.
Very good start from Pontiac, already more than a second in front of Hemphead, and we'll look to see if he continues to bolt out in the front.
Yeah, so an interesting strategy call here. I mean, if Pontiac Bandit has a much bigger amount of pace than Hemphead here, what do? Do you stay defensive with DRS? Do you take off? We're about to find out.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm the race engineer, I'm telling them to hold station.
Yeah, I think so. I think the DRS defense can be quite strong. But Hemphead will need to bring his A game ahead of him and behind him. Very strong racers. Oh no, and as I say that, I've cursed him into the chicane. Hemphead, very deep, has missed his braking point, and before he can get turned around, it's P11 for him. Pontiac Bandit for the Yellow Jackets now leads on the main straight. It's God Rewinds. It's still an AI getting passed by John the Prince.
Yikes. Yeah, that's not what the Yellow Jackets needed.
Yeah, rough start already. Pontiac Bandit still leads this race, but falling away, rewinds for disconnects, and Hemphead with a spin around that chicane.
So we see both team Journey cars in second and third getting very close to each other.
Yeah, SP and Abdul, I'm not sure about the pace comparison between them. We just haven't seen Abdul racing against the elite tier guys very often. So as we come through 7 and 8, it is Pontiac Bandit already 2 laps after the restart, a 2.9 second lead. SP probably needs to get through, I would say. So points-wise, Green Goblins don't look like they're in a terrible position at the moment. And it's Urban and Bongit, I think, Urban Bongit have the last 2 points for the other team. And man, I think the strongest of all, Team Journey, probably holding the most points at the moment.
Yep, running second and third currently, as well as 10th. They are looking to get quite the points haul from the sprint race and set themselves up for what could be a great points haul in the Grand Prix.
So up at the front, SP looking like he was going to go around the outside of turn 17. I think we're seeing Abdul and SP maybe battle on track, or will we see an inversion here soon? No, Abdul is holding on to the place. They're fighting on track, SP and Abdul. Pontiac Bandit now 4.1 in the distance.
With only 3 laps to go, I'm not sure anyone can mount anything for Pontiac with that kind of a lead. That is pretty substantial.
Significant. We called for a redemption race for Pontiac, and man, has he brought it. 4-second lead, lap 7, with only 3 of those being under racing conditions. It's pretty. That's a pretty big lead.
That's almost a second a lap difference on the cars behind, Rez.
Yeah, good news that at least there is a bright note for the Yellow Jackets. No points on the board, but currently leading here in the sprint. God Rewinds, who is still an AI, it looks like, but he is in 7th place. And man, we've got a very tight fight going on back here. 6th, 7th, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 9. Man, they're just very much packed in here.
Yeah, and Urban, I noticed, was just passed by Owa on the last lap. Oh, bong it with a snap of oversteer coming out of 17.
Man, and not leaving much room for Shashir as he was forced off track, and I think Shashir, though, should hold on to the place. Into 8th goes the Journey driver. More points now bagged up for Journey. They're having a good sprint. Owaz doing well. He's on the back of SP at the moment, trying to get in touch with those 2 drivers ahead. Behind, there's a big gap back to Urban. He's 3.8. There's only 2.5 laps remaining, and Pontiac Bandit may be lifting a little bit. He's no longer a full second ahead, but only 0.2. He's just sort of pacing the field, and why not? A big advantage for the Bandit.
Very impressed with Abdul Rahman. We'll see if he can continue to hold off the drivers of SP and Owa, both drivers who we thought could win, who had pace to be able to win this race.
Yeah, for sure. And man, John the Prince fighting very, very hard with Urban and loses out through the chicane, and Rewinds is got a line on the inside, but can he hold it? I wonder. Oh no, it does. It's still an AI driving that car. It's terrible around 17. John the Prince is through into 6th place. Man, SP, I feel like, has been bottled up a little bit here. I mean, but also this is the strategy, isn't it? Like, I think, you know what, I'm positive now, because Journey lined their team up slowest to fastest, right? Slowest in front, and SP is really helping hold off Owa here. It looks like.
Oh, no, we say that.
No, they are inverting.
Yep.
Oh, but and Owa is following through on the inversion. Abdul just forced out of place, and can he get a nose back in? No, Owa into 3rd place, a rainbow on the podium at the moment.
Yep, so in as many corners, he lost as many places from 2nd down to 4th.
Wow.
That strategy not really playing out for Journey.
Yeah, tough, because Owa was just sniffing around too hard. So Journey tried to really use DRS to their advantage, but you have to be similar in pace, and Owa is just, I think, too quick for that strategy to work. Journey did make something out of it. SP, they called for the inversion at the maybe a little bit late, but SP still holds on to 2nd place.
And we are on the last lap, Drez.
Yeah, final lap here in the Miami Sprint. Pontiac Bandit has led from the beginning and has done a great job holding on. I'm on board with Abdul as he's trying to grab that place back from the Green Goblin ahead of him. He's got Green Goblin's head, well, it's actually 6 seconds back to John the Prince. Shashir and God Rewinds are fighting on track. Shiesty is in the middle of Urban and Walrus. They're fighting over the last of the points here. Oh man, and something has happened to John the Prince. Looks like around turn 7, because through is Walrus on those softs.
Oh, and as we're talking about that, Owa has made the move on SP going through turn 12. It was a beautiful move, Dresden.
Oh, SP trying to get it back through the chicane, stuck a nose in dangerously, but fought off. It does Owa. But now down the straight, Owa's harvesting. Will we get DRS? There it is from SP. Can he take the place back? It's looking like he will. Gonna be well ahead into the final turn of the final lap. Well, not the final, there's 2 more turns after this, but they're kind of inconsequential in terms of passing. SP has the place. He'll be in 2nd place. Owa really trying to snag that 2nd place podium on the final lap.
Wow, that was an epic battle through what they call the mistake generator here at Miami. Those drivers putting on a show.
Yeah, the mistake generator getting the best of Hemphead there, I think. And man, Walrus driver of the day threw the softs on, brought the pace, and really all the way from the back of the field and into 6th place has grabbed a number of points for Phantom. Neat to see there. So Pontiac Bandit wins from SP. Yellow Jackets finally have points on the board. They're 1st and 7th at the moment, but I think it's Journey gonna take the most points out of the sprint.
Yep. So.
Oh,
go ahead.
Excuse me. It's a sprint, so it's only 8 points. First 8 get points.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. So Yellow Jackets putting 10 points on the board for the sprint. Yeah, impressed with the Angry Walrus. That soft tire strategy did play out. So we'll see what kind of strategies these teams employ for the race.
Yeah, maybe a good call from Barney there. I'd be curious to find out whether that was an ooh. So for those of you who don't know why we're giggling, the rain is coming down here in Miami, and that is going to make it very challenging, I think. Really challenging. Miami, I think, when you think about it, got to be a difficult wet race.
I don't know that I've done a wet race in Miami, but yeah. It's definitely going to have some challenges, that's for sure.
Yeah. For a couple of reasons. I think first and foremost is just track experience, right? Miami is it just hasn't been around long enough for drivers to be totally locked in the way they are at Silverstone. And tight walls and some really heavy braking zones where you need to be precise. Some S complexes with tight walls as well, and then that chicane. Wet race in Miami, I think it's going to be pretty tough.
Yep, I'm excited. And Rujoff excited as well in the chat saying, let's go Team Journey. So Team Journey, you've got a fan rooting for you here in the chat.
Yeah, Journey 2nd, 4th, and 5th, I think. And man, brought plenty of points home from the sprint. Probably, for sure, the most for SP, Shashir, and Abdul, and a neat strategy. Definitely aggressively defensive. They basically came in with the idea, I think, that they were just going to hold on to the points that they were gifted from the starting position. And honestly, I don't think it's a terrible way to go because it's only 10 laps, right? So really just holding on to your starting position would, and the first 8 points pay out. So those starting positions very valuable, and man, did they work hard to hold on to them for a while.
Yep, they did.
Just ultimately too fast.
Yep, yeah, they did a great job. Losing out those last couple of laps, but still maintaining that top five presence. So, yeah, I think that was a good strategy.
Yeah, a neat one to watch. That is for certain. Pontiac Bandit looked very strong. I mean, even after SP was released, I don't think he really made an impression there. Pontiac Bandit, he takes the win in the sprint and will take us away here in the wet momentarily. We will get another formation lap, I assume. So Miami, not a track you and I have just dissected very much. Where is the skill curve in Miami?
Got to be turn. Well, I think it's more than one really, but the turn complex in 14, 15, 16.
It's definitely difficult, right? And there's only one line through there, though everyone seems to try to take multiple ways through it. But man, I feel like the 7-8 turn. Like 8 apparently is a turn, but it's weird. But turn 7 feels like a pretty consequential turn to me, and a difficult one to nail lap after lap.
Yep, yeah, Pontiac Bandit going through it right now, and you're right, Drez. It does set up the longest straight here in Miami. So lots of time to be lost if you don't set yourself up well through 7 and 8. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're braking forever because the apex just never gets there. For 7, it's all the way around a corner you can't see, so you have to really feel your way through the turn. So what about signature? For me, the signature turns the chicane. I kind of love the way the cars come through that section.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's slow speed, but you really have to it's almost like you want to whip the back end around as you come through the second half of it. And the way the track is, there's a bit of a bump there, like a little hill, kind of aids you in whipping the car around as you come through. So
Okay.
what about you? What do you think?
For me, signature turn is turn 11, 12. I don't know that there's any other turn there's no turn complex like that anywhere on the calendar.
It is very kinked, and then 12's that cool double apex that you have to. It feels like I want to say Luffield.
Yeah, a little bit. Yep.
Yeah.
Or the loop.
Got a little. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so we are in the wet. It is intermediates at the moment. That's gonna be a challenging thing for the engineers to handle. The 50% race for CCRL's C4 event, that is gonna start right now. I'm on board with Action 4. Abdul, the start is usually by now. Usually. It's just been a weird one. The glitches have been pretty unbearable this week. It looks like we're about to get underway eventually.
I'm getting a migrating host.
Yeah,
Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, or here we go. We're off the line. Fast. Pontiac Bandit will lead into turn 1, and Abdul has a good. Hang on, there's way too many AI cars on the track at the moment. Urban, SP, both, and God Rewinds. That's 3 cars, all AIs. I think I'm watching an AI on Abdul as well. I think we've lost quite a number of drivers from this grid.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if this thing gets restarted.
I'd be surprised. I want to call it, but it feels like everybody's an AI. Was it just you and me that got kicked?
I don't know. Is is there people jumping back in? Oh my! I've just seen Angry
Yeah,
Walrus
Urban
torpedo.
Yeah, and Urban just ran into a wall as well. I think they're getting the message that we're going to have a full restart here. Man, this week has just been messy from EA. I tell you what.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, and now we're going to lose the rain. Right?
Maybe.
Well, okay. So I think we have to follow this until we get the official word. So let's do that. At the moment, Pontiac leads. There is a full course yellow already. We didn't talk about. Yeah, no. In fact, I'm sure. Look at the way the cars are on the track.
Yeah,
it looks like 2 packs of AI.
I'm trying to watch the Discord chat here. I think we've got, official word is we are leaving the lobby and there's going to be a restart. So if you're watching at home, just bear with us. We're going to get this thing restarted here in just a moment. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Make the cheeks clap. Make the cheeks clap. Make the cheeks clap. cheeks clap. 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 Make the cheeks clap. 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 Make the cheeks clap. 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 Make the cheeks clap. Clap. Clap.
Hello, race fans. Welcome back. I believe we are about to be underway. The readying up is happening. Apologies. Although, I mean, what are we supposed to do? EA needs to fix their game. Like, it's just, this is just part of the story that we have to go through in order to watch the racing that we want to watch.
Yep. So while we were red flagged during that session, we had a couple of people join the chat. Click 21 and OG 24 saying "Go Nick," and I don't recognize that name. Do you, Drez? Nick? Do we know any Nicks on the grid?
No, we're gonna look. Well, I already memorized what team everybody's on, their gamer tag name. I gotta know their real names too. Like,
That's too
I want
much.
to take a guess though. No, there's no way we can't know who Nick is. But look, whatever team he's on and whichever driver tag he's in, we're glad that you're here rooting him on, and hopefully they have a good race.
Agreed.
Yeah. Hopefully we get a good race. I wanted that rain. I wanted it pretty bad, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to start on intermediates and then have a slow changeover where you absolutely maximize the race engineer's impact on the event. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I was thinking that was going to be pretty neat.
It would have been neat. Would have been neat for sure. But it looks like it's going to be dry, at least to start. And we could get some rain throughout the race. I do see some clouds hovering above the track here. So cross your fingers, folks, if you're in the chat room. Dr. Mecca, welcome. He's rooting for Shashir. He says he's a professional cheek clapper, and he is. We've got 13 other professional cheek clappers out there on the track tonight, ready to get going. So.
That's cool. Shashir drives for McLaren, and I secretly root for him. Don't tell anybody. I have to remain unbiased, but let's go McLaren.
Did you see, Dresden? I wore my McLaren hoodie for you tonight.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Very cool.
I had to dust it off.
Man, an older one. So look, we might still get some rain, but it would have been cool to have like a slowly drying track. And for just to repeat, the titans of the field, they're not racing tonight. They are coaching the rest of their field. So Curveball, Reimer, Barney, Z-Milk, and Leisig, they are not going to be participating. They're just going to be sending out orders. And we already saw in the sprint some neat impacts there. We saw Walrus with a great call to go to softs. That paid out in points. And we saw Journey attacking the race from a very neat strategy that almost and may have paid off in extra points.
Yep, yeah, we saw those strategies, and I'm willing to bet most of those came from the team captains in this case. And yeah, we'll see what strategies we get further on into this race. I'm expecting a one stop, but I would not be surprised if we see some teams go to a two stop.
Yeah, I mean, and you've got to be expecting safety cars here. Like we saw one immediately in the sprint, and I just think Miami's just, it feels as dangerous as Canada to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the walls are close. There's not a lot of room for error in a lot of these turns. So, yep, very similar to Canada in that effect.
Yeah. So just taking a look at the tire strategy, it is pretty varied. Half mediums and half hards, it looks like. So watch for Owa. He's going to be on opposing strategy, and he's got the pace to challenge SP and Pontiac for dominance of this race. Walrus may be a little bit out of position still, and the rest of the race sort of feels where racers you'd think they'd end up. But man, between Pontiac, SP, Owa, and Walrus, all four drivers on different teams, I'm not exactly sure who I'd put my money on. I think it could be a close race between them.
I think Owa could be a strong contender. We saw Pontiac Bandit, though, in the sprint really get out in front and hold a large lead. So, yeah, I think there's definitely a couple of front runners here. Anybody 1 through 3 could really pull this thing out.
Again, our Tier S drivers not on the field, so the Tier A, Tier B, there's bragging rights here. Who is best in the midfield pack? We're going to have a race just between them.
Oh, and SSP really leaving a large gap to Bandit. He is sitting there lonesome on the grid, just letting those tires cool off.
He's pulling a Hamilton.
Yeah, that's a Lewis move if I've ever seen one.
For sure. All right, it is round 2 of round 2. Here we go. It's the C4 event. finally going to kick off. We are 1, 2, 3. Here we go off the line. It's SP and Pontiac pretty even. Abdul immediately up 1. He's on the inside of Owa, who's deep on the brakes through turn 1, but not going to be able to hold on to that place. Abdul jumps into the lead there. Now Shashir is giving Owa a hard time on the outside of 3. He's got the better exit and through. Man, Team Journey with an amazing start here in Miami.
Yeah, 2, 3, and 4 running in the points and doing so very strongly. Owa really losing out on the start of that race.
Yeah, Abdul had the inside and just forced Owa a little wide through turn 1, and Shashir right there able to take advantage of that misfortune. On lap 1, it's Pontiac Bandit from SP, from Ab, from the entire Team Journey, and then Owa in 5th place, Urban in 6th, Shiesty takes 7th place. Antonium is now battling around the outside of 13 with Shiesty. A bit of a switch pack move for Antonium through the chicane and makes it work down the long straight, has the better exit, and Shiesty falls back into 8th place.
Very close racing all throughout the field.
That was a nice little set of turns there for Antonium. A really creative pass he got done there. Very neat.
And
so
Feeney and Anyote look like they are tank slapping a little bit going through turn 17 and 18 here. So they that battle continues.
Well, I jumped back there to take a look at what you were talking about, and I ended up on board with Anyote as he sort of went straight on through turn 1. Lucky not to have taken anybody with him. John the Prince makes a pit stop lap 1 into the hard, we imagine, for a wing change there for Jay Prince.
So SP at the front, only less than half a second behind Pontiac. So Pontiac not able to get that huge lead that we saw him do in the sprint race, Strez.
Yeah, so now that's right. So Journey had that alternate strategy where SP was playing defensive gunner for Abdul, but now that he's just been released, really giving Pontiac Bandit a run for his money. SP looking really strong right now.
Yep, and if you are Reimer right now, you are sitting and just kicking your feet like crazy.
Yeah, it would be nerve-wracking for sure. I'm watching Owa is Urban and Antonium. Antonium having a great start to this race. Now through on Owa. Owa maybe just checking his wing. Falling back through the final turns there. Both Urban and Antonium are through for the Speed Demon team. What's going on?
Oh, and Owa has spun in turn 1.
Man, Owa, that's rough. Owa was challenging for the lead of this race, now down in 11th and has work to do. SP, though, up at the front, falling back a little bit. We thought he was going to hold on to Pontiac Bandit, but the Yellow Jacket trying to get outside of DRS range here on lap 3.
Yeah, we've missed something at the front. SP fell back about a half a second, and Abdul Rahman now falling back to 9th.
Oh, yeah, that's a big development. Abdul Speed Demons now no longer in the top 5. Abdul must have had a spin somewhere. Any damage? Oh, a missing wing too. Big problems for Abdul at the moment. You know, we saw him go a bit long a couple of times in under the safety car in the sprint. You remember?
We
that's
sure
usually
did.
a sign. That's usually like a sign of a little unfamiliarity with the track. So some clues to be gleaned there. Abdul now into the pits to get a new wing.
So Antonium setting the fastest lap as we start lap 4, and he is all over the back of Shashir.
And an inversion between him and Urban while we weren't looking. So Antonium is very fast at the moment. How many places up? I think quite a few, yeah. Actually, the most of anybody. Antonium up 7 since the start of this race. A really good effort from the Speed Demon driver.
Yep, and he's got DRS to Shashir now, so we're going to continue to see that gap drop and could see a pass, actually, if he can maintain his distance here through the mistake generator of 11 through 16.
Yeah, a very difficult section, this entire complex. And so Antonium does have the faster tire. Down the back straight we go, and just you can't be more in position to make a pass than Antonium is here. Shashir will just lay back and allow this to happen.
Not much else you can do there.
Not much. No, he was. But why? Yeah, wide through the final turn. Will Antonium hold on? He does. He is quicker on track, but man, misjudged turn. Oh no, there goes Shashir into turn 1. I spoke too soon. Oh, and looked like Antonium may have come into contact. He spun around through turn 1. Did you see what happened?
Yeah, I sure did. So as Shashir got the pass done, Urban was coming in pretty hot to turn 1 and wasn't quite sure if that door was opening before it was very quickly closed. And unfortunately, the two teammates coming together there in turn 1.
Oh man, the Speed Demon captain not gonna be happy with that turn of events. Antonium, but he can still get it done. He came through the field really, really quickly. He may be the fastest man on track, but at the moment, currently, occupies 11th place. We'll have to get it done again.
Yeah, and drama at the front as well. Pontiac Bandit running very heavy into turn 11 and now has lost out to SP.
Man, SP taking over the lead of this race. Speed Demons continuing to have a good showing, currently occupying 2 of the 3 podium places, but watch out for Urban Action 4 threatening into the final turn of consequence.
Yep.
Shashir under fire at the moment.
Yep, Speed Demons running 4 and 5. Team Journey up in 1 and 3, and Yellow Jackets currently sitting in 2. So we got quite a few different teams all through this top 10.
Yeah, it's Walrus, Bong, and Anyote. I believe that team is the one having probably the least points at the moment. But man, we've got some fascinating things going on right now. So Pontiac and SP, they seem to be very close in terms of pace here in Miami. That fight could go on a little bit longer, though SP does seem to be stretching it out just a bit. And Urban is all over Shashir in the battle for 3rd place.
Yeah, Urban's showing some pace in the Constructors' Cup. We've seen his pace kind of trajectory going up over the past few months, and he's definitely showing that now.
Yeah, we said during the a bit squirrely for Shashir through the chicane, but I don't know if Urban can take advantage of that. But as we come down the back straight, Urban is right where he needs to be. There's DRS, does not need the battery, is not using it at least. We'll take the inside line as we, oh no, contact between the 2 of them. Oh, Shashir and Urban are both out of this race.
Oh, and that's got to be a safety car, I would think. Yep, here we go, full course safety car.
Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
We knew it was going to happen, but man, that was dramatic fashion. A double elimination. 1 Speed Demon. Was it Speed Demon? Yeah, 1 Speed Demon and 1 Journeyman.
Yikes.
out of this race.
We were on board when that happened, Rez.
Yeah, I was too. And I think I don't know. It's a hard call to say because Shashir was turning in, and Urban had a wheel in, and I'd have to see both camera angles to see who needed to leave whose space.
Yeah, I think so. If we break it down and look at actual F1 regulation, that corner, I believe that corner was Urban's. His front axle was in line with or in front of Shashir's rear axle, so Shashir really needed to leave some space going through turn 17 there.
Yeah, I'm hesitant because I had a bit of a weird angle at it, but I kind of felt the same way. Shashir may have needed to leave a little bit of space coming into that turn. Urban definitely had a full wheel in at the moment. And unfortunate, Shashir Urban eliminated in a big race. Now, let's take a look at the points because, man, did that help? That helped Phantom, it looks like. Phantom, suddenly all three of their drivers are in the points, and the only team to do so, though they only occupy 5th, 7th, and 8th at the moment.
Yep, so we got some leaders in the pit taking advantage here, and this could be their only pit stop. Looks like SP, Pontiac, and Bongit all fitting the hards.
Yeah, so a decent, so if you started on the mediums, this is not a terrible safety car timing, but if you started on the hards, you are being shot in the foot at the moment. Let's get those tires up, take a look at that. Yeah, so Feeney, Shiesty, Owa, and Walrus all onto the hards to start the race, and it's just too early to switch over to mediums.
Yeah, I would say so. Those mediums were probably feeling a little squishy coming up on lap 8, and their max life maybe only 11 to 12 laps, I got to think, Drez.
So the hards should go to the end, right?
I would think so
laps.
from this point on, especially with a few laps under the safety car.
Yeah, so SP and Pontiac and Bongit look like they are in the strongest strategic positions at the moment.
Yep, and it looks like Hemphead and Antonium lost out big time having pit just the lap before onto the hards.
Oh, you hate that. I've had that feeling a few times.
Yep.
The safety car just, if I had waited one more lap. So we've mixed the race up a little bit. Feeney now leads Shiesty in behind the two Green Goblins on the podium, but they won't be able to stay there for long. And the safety car is in this lap, so let's go.
That's
action
a quick one.
3 is Feeney. Yeah, it was very fast. So I'm on board. Action 3 is Feeney starts us again at lap 8. Well, actually lap 9 underway. Feeney leads. But winning the race, we believe at the moment, is SP. And man, there goes Walrus throwing his car in on the inside of SP through turn 1, but unable to make the move stick.
Yeah, that's a great way to lose a front wing there from Angry Walrus, just kind of sneaking it in where the guy in front of you can't see. But I think he kind of bailed out of that at the last minute.
Yeah, yeah, those dives can. Their glory or their race ending, one of the two. But now we've got I think the 3 fastest the 4 fastest now, all parked right behind Owa. It's Owa, SP, Walrus, and Pontiac Bandit. Actually, let's go action 6 because Pontiac Bandit and Walrus, they are really mixing it up at the moment. Coming through the chicane section now. We don't have any DRS for the next 2 laps, unfortunately. So, man, I bet we're just gonna see a parade for a bit here.
Yep, yeah. Until we get DRS, this is probably gonna remain the order over the next couple laps. We've got Ogie24 in the chat saying, come on, yellow team. We got ground to make up. Hashtag clap it into gear. So that yellow team is the Yellow Jackets, Ogie. So, yeah, they'll take all the cheering they can get at the moment.
Clap it in the gear. I like it. They need, I mean, Pontiac Bandit is in contention for winning this race, and Hemphead is actually in decent position as well. He's on the right tire at the right time, and in and among the leaders, and fending off a resurging Antonium, who finds himself back in the race for, oh, there's Hemphead on the inside of Bongit. Briefly had a wheel in, but unable to get the pass done after turn 8. Man, let's go action 4 then. SP has Shiesty ahead and pace in hand, so this is where we think the action will develop.
Yeah, and if SP can take this section cleanly, he'll be set up for a possibly a pass down this back straightaway.
DRS should be available. I think this lap, no, it's going to be one more. But SP still tucked, and he's got Walrus behind. Is in a very precarious position, is SP. Oh, very, very wide is Shiesty, and already with the wheel in, Shiesty did have a good exit. But down the straight towards turn 1, will SP send? No, whoa, deep is Walrus, way too deep, and on the inside. Oh man, it's still banging there as he comes back on track. Walrus.
3 wide through turn 1, and then wheel banging coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, it's a bit of a wrecking ball from Walrus there. Hey, a walrus not a dainty animal, so I guess. Oh no, Shiesty getting squirrely again through turn 4. No, through turn 7 and through his SP, and now Walrus got a wheel on the inside. Is very, very fast down the straight. Is gonna take SP as well. Deep on the brakes, but on the outside line, he's got the wheel ahead. Walrus is making a double pass down the back straight into 3rd place.
Yep, and as they come through turn 12, we see Walrus emerging out of that threesome as the winner. We'll see if that changes with DRS down this back straightaway.
Oh man, it's actually already changed because Walrus had a hitch coming through the chicane, could not make the car turn fast enough, and ended up cutting the chicane corner and has 3 seconds now. Tacked onto the car. So an amazing set of passes, but man, just lost it through the chicane and now carrying around an anchor. Walrus is fast though.
He might be able to create a gap and possibly ignore that penalty net time wise towards the end of the race.
Yeah, we are flying a bit blind here because without qualifying, I really like I like redemption sprints, but man, without qualifying, you just almost are unsure where to look. I feel quite like almost unprepared because we're learning their relative race pace on the fly. And man,
Pontiac Bandit with DRS open down into turn 11. He's gonna make the pass on Shiesty. A little bit of wheel banging as they go through turn 12. Oh, and Shiesty's just gonna hold on.
Good defense there. Shiesty really like elbows out, forcing Pontiac Bandit to wait another lap before he can figure out a way through. And look, Walrus up at the front is on the, but okay, he's having a great moment, is Walrus, but strategically is out of position and now carrying around that 3-second penalty, may be out of the discussion really for first place. SP probably still leads.
Yep, I would agree with that. Owa and Feeney as well. So are we looking at SP as the net leader right now, Drez?
Yeah, I think so. SP net lead. Shiesty doing a good job holding on to 5th place, but I think Pontiac Bandit and Bongit are the other part of the podium at the moment. I'm on Action 8. Antonium is quick here. And man, is really oh no, we're gotta spin. It's again Antonium's night being a bit what's the word? I think ruined.
Oh yeah, I think he
Another
got a
set of
little.
contact.
Oh, I think he got a little bit of help getting turned around there, Drez.
Yeah, that's a contact again for Antonium, and man, it just felt like out of nowhere. And I don't know who ended up being responsible for spinning him around. But man, just on board with Antonium because he was fighting his way through yet again, and now has all that work to do.
Ouch.
Oof.
That's
Yeah.
that's a race killer.
Bit painful. Walrus's pace looks like race leading pace. He's just strategically out of place at the moment. SP looks like he's gonna be in good position after the pit stops as long as these tires go to the end. And lap 14, will we see the hard runners? So big question here is, when do the hard runners who started on the hards pit?
About lap 20.
Yeah, because if they go in much earlier than that, like, you would have to worry about SP's position.
Yep,
Right.
yeah. What Walrus needs here in the next 5 laps is a safety car to bring him back into contention, I think.
Yeah, he would be back into position for a podium, I think, but able to challenge for the lead, I'd still be surprised there. Shiesty and Pontiac Bandit are mixing it up into turn 11, and it looks on the inside. Look at Bongit, an amazing double pass into turn 11 as Pontiac Bandit was putting the move on Shiesty.
Oh, that was scrumptious by Bongit. Just down the inside on those two as they were battling.
Man, a cool move there from Bongit, from the Phantom F1 driver. That was neat. That was neat. Man, Pontiac Bandit now in overall second. I'm sorry, Bongit in overall second place, and Pontiac Bandit struggling to find his way back into parity with SP. He's about 3 seconds behind, and now has to deal with with Bongit to get through.
Yeah, we saw Pontiac Bandit in clean air, really setting the pace, but it seems like he's having trouble following here in Miami.
Yeah, won the sprint handily and was definitely putting SP, or was keeping SP very, very honest at the beginning of this race. And he looks quicker overall than Bongit. It looks, and now back on the back straight, DRS open, and a harvesting car in front of him. The switch to the inside, looks like Pontiac is through. Bongit. Oh, Bongit doing the switchback, but he'll have to go around the outside at 12. No, another set of contact and into the wall. SP now with his wing all over the tarmac and losing places.
That sucks for SP.
Oh, and now rough. There's Bongit now has lost it through the chicane. It's a bit wild.
And now we have a safety car.
Oh, okay, that changes everything. Into the pits, it's Feeney, also Owa gonna take advantage here. Walrus is gonna be into the pits. Pontiac Bandit, what is he gonna do? Stays out on the hards. You know John the Prince is into the pits. A perfectly timed pit stop for him. Shiesty as well is into the pit. SP needs a whole new wing. He's been leading this race, SP has. and no longer. Will probably be lucky to be in the points.
Boy, I tell you, I gotta just kind of take a breath here and look and see what is going on with this race, Drez.
Well, we've had quite a bit of shake up there. The last 2 or 3 laps were fairly exciting. Quite a bit of elbowing for position. Every point very valuable to every team, we'll put it that way. Pontiac Bandit now leads, but man, is he going to have a hard time holding on to the win here.
So, have you taken a look at the current tire statuses of the race, Drez?
Yeah, that's exactly why I was saying Pontiac Bandit's gonna struggle.
Yeah.
He's in the lead, eight lap old hards, but just behind him, danger.
Yeah, fresh mediums all the way back to Shiesty. SP, that's an interesting. Did he start on the mediums? Surely he didn't take those to lap 16. I'm just wondering why he wouldn't have thrown mediums on there. And then an interesting strategy with Bong It on the softs.
I thought SP was on hards. I could be wrong, but the Bong It call, I'm not sure about at all. To be honest, the softs may go to the end. I would be surprised though.
If we're only getting 11, maybe 12, 13 laps on the medium, I'm not sure the softs go to the end.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if they go to the end. That may be a miscue. Sometimes when you're trying to select a tire, you're not quick enough.
That's true.
Sometimes you end up throwing the wrong tire on, and it really feels like that soft call is the wrong tire at this particular moment in the race. And man, Pontiac Bandit had pace. So that is in his corner. And his biggest rivals, SP, is out of position, 7th place hards. He's going to have work coming to the field. I think he's out of the contention for first. Antonium has had a rough night. He was blasting through the field multiple times.
Yeah.
And finds himself in 10th place at the moment. But man, when we picked winners, I picked SP, and he was looking really good at the beginning of this race. And you picked Owa, and right at this particular moment, I would put my money in Owa's lap for a race victory.
Yeah, we'll see. We're with the way we've seen racing go here tonight in Miami, and we're just a little past halfway distance. Anything can still happen. So.
Yeah, it's been a bit wild. It's been a bit wild, but man, you know, and safety cars in this race, it's been wild. But Miami's difficult, so it's just unsurprising that it's been as wild as it has. Don't count Walrus out. He's been really fast, and he's in the right strategic position.
Yep.
Can Pontiac hold on to a win?
Pontiac's gone early.
He has gone very early, but did not get the drop on Feeney. Feeney 0.5 behind. Owa follows in turn 1. He's right where he needs to be as well. It's another 2 laps before we get DRS. Can those cold hards hold on to first place? Because it's looking like Feeney is going to... Man, he's very challenging already as we head down to turn 7.
And we can't forget that Walrus carrying around that penalty as well.
I actually completely forgot about that. So I'm looking at Owa for victory. You would think that Pontiac's handicap with those tires is just going to be too big. Because there goes Feeney already just trying to find a way through, being held up by the elderly hards ahead of him. Just crowding all over the back of Pontiac Bandit at the moment.
Yeah, if you're Pontiac Bandit, you've seen the black and purple flash from your left-hand side mirror to your right-hand side mirror, and that is got to be very distracting.
Oh, it's been, yeah, for sure, crawling all over him, but Pontiac gets a good exit down the back straight, so it looks like he'll be safe for another lap at least. Should be getting some temperature back in those tires as we speak. Man, an interesting stories developing. Speed Demons, Journey just looking like they were going to take a stranglehold on the points at the beginning of this race, but now looking like they're going to struggle to take home anything. And Pontiac Bandit for Yellow Jackets, definitely the savior of that team at the moment. He's in first place, but he's going to struggle to hold off a surging Feeney and Owa. They can both smell victory.
Yeah, I think your big point haulers are the Green Goblins, currently sitting 3, 5, and 7, and possibly John the Prince could get promoted with Walrus carrying around that penalty.
Yeah, give Lysick some credit. His team is doing well, and probably some good calls going into that mix. All three of them are in the exact strategic position they need to be in to take maximum points out of Miami. Owa just biding his time back here, waiting for Feeney and Pontiac to figure it out. Pontiac valiantly holding on to first place on Action 3, just enjoying the action happening ahead.
Yeah, Owa's doing the right... Oh!
Little bit of an impact, and there's a spinning car. Walrus has spun around the final turn. I don't think contact caused the spin, and it doesn't look like Owa suffered any damage as him and Feeney just touched just a little love tap there.
Yeah, it was hard to tell if that was real or not, a glitch. But yeah, just enough to throw Walrus off and a snap of oversteer to turn that car around.
Yeah, Feeney is desperate to get through point 2. He follows underneath Pontiac Bandit, and then, man, Pontiac is doing an amazing job, still holding on to first place, but DRS is available now, and he's got to be a sitting duck. There goes on the inside line. Feeney down into turn 11 has the job done. Pontiac Bandit trying to fight back, but has got no grip in which to hold on. Feeney leads the race lap 20.
Yep, and it's on now. Owa closing the gap to Pontiac Bandit now that we've got DRS. I think he's going to make a move soon.
Has to be in position. It's probably right here. I'm on board Action 3, though Pontiac now has DRS to help him with his defense. And down the back straight, that looks like it's going to be what he needs to hold on. If Pontiac can hold on to Feeney and keep Owa bottled up, that would be a cool story coming out of this race. SP is not doing too bad on the hards in fourth place, and he's still got the battle for the podium in his sights.
Yep, and he's got, but he's got to be careful. He's got 2 Green Goblins right on his tail. They would love to get just a few more points.
John the Prince crawling all over him's got the better tire. And Jay Prince usually has.
Safety car.
We've got Abdul. And see, I saw Abdul and Walrus mixing it up. And man, looks like Abdul got the bad end of that fight. A DNF there. Now 2 of Journey's team out of this race.
Yeah, Journey not having a good night, but I'm wondering, will we see anybody roll the dice here, Drez? This could be a prime. This softs could go from here.
softs definitely go from here. Oh man. It'll be 25, 26 before DRS is re-enabled. That's 3 laps. If I was on the mediums, I wouldn't. But and man, Pontiac Bandit, if he can just hold on, he can hold on to second place. And he's got good consistency. So Feeney and Owa, I wouldn't. I'd stay out. I'd count on my consistency if I was Pontiac Bandit.
Yep.
Anybody else into the pits, bong it. He was already on the softs, not going to the end.
Yep. And Walrus looks like he probably needs a wing. Yeah, the last four or so they're coming in.
Yeah, those guys for sure. Go grab softs for no reason. I mean, Walrus did that in the sprint to good effect.
That
right?
he did, yep.
So, employing the same strategy as he did in the sprint ultimately is Walrus. And man, not everybody onto the softs, or Hemphead's still getting changed over. Okay. So Feeney leads. Let's do state of the race here. It's lap 22. The safety car will come in probably 24, and then it will be 26 before we get DRS again, leaving us about 3 laps of real racing left to go. Feeney leads. He's on the best tire. He's got the best pace at the moment, but he has 2 very strong drivers behind a Pontiac Bandit. He's a little out of strategic position on very old hards and a very quick Owa behind him. And then SP has a chance at victory as well. He's on the harder compound, but they're not that old, and he's got pace.
Lots of love coming in the chat for Pontiac Bandit. OG24 and Click21 really cheering him on, and the Yellow Jackets as a whole.
Yeah, they had a rough night, but being well represented at the moment. Where's the third? Why am I missing?
Yeah,
am I missing a Yellow Jacket?
It rewinds, right?
Yeah, yes. Man, the Yellow Jacket is just punished at the moment for just these little extra problems. But Pontiac Bandit is going to bring home points for the struggling team, and it's just the question is how many. And he's had a great race, won the sprint, and has had pace all evening. But as we forecasted, the safety cars were going to be like mixing up the entire race, and unfortunately for Pontiac Bandit, just mixed it up in a way where he's in a tough strategic position at the moment. There's the cat. she may make an appearance. So man, Feeney should take victory. It'll be his second, I believe, here with CCRL, and it couldn't come at a better time. Feeney gonna bring home points. Oh man, where is he? Yeah, he's on the Speed Demon. So Speed Demons lead. But Green Goblins look like they're gonna take the massive point haul at the moment.
Yep, yeah, and Yellow Jackets won't come away with nothing. They did get some points in the sprint, and if Pontiac can hold on, they'll get a decent haul as well here.
Yeah, it pays out. Top 10. It's so last time it was points for everybody, but this time position really, really important. Second place is a lot of points. Pontiac could bring home a big haul for the Yellow Jackets tonight. We are about to restart. Feeney gonna get underway. There he goes, and he's off the line quick. Pontiac on very cold hard, struggling to keep up. He's already 0.7 behind, but fortunately for him, Owa having a rough restart as well.
Yeah, I don't like the rolling starts here in Miami. It's so hard to get any traction down coming through 17 and 18.
Yeah, that final turn feels very slippery with the wall right there. You really have to be patient before you can get your foot down. And it gives, ooh, I'm on board with SP. Okay, briefly I thought, oh, well, having some trouble around turn 7, but not the case. We've got another Yellow Jacket having some issues. I think Hemphead having a bit of a spin around turn 7. We return to the front where Feeney is running away with it. He's 1.4 ahead.
So we will be hold station here for the next couple laps until DRS is reinstated.
Yeah, a tough track to get passes done without DRS, that's for sure. And Feeney trying to make sure he's the only one who's not going to be challenged by DRS. 1.5 now. He's got the fastest pace on the field at the moment.
That felt a little slow coming out of 18. And it looks like he's lost a few tenths back to Pontiac.
Yeah, so Pontiac may be just getting temperature into those tires at the moment. He did have the pace. Feeney may, oh man, I want to see it come down to something close. If anybody can make it happen, Pontiac can, and Feeney just needs to drive a solid, steady race, because you know Pontiac's going to drive a solid, steady race.
Oh, Drez, we've got it's heating up back here. Shiesty making his way past Antonium, and John the Prince looking to get a move done on SP.
SP needs to hold on here. The Green Goblins have enough points. There goes Antonium and Shiesty. Antonium taking the place into 6 down the back straight. Shiesty falling back 1. Bongit is sniffing around here as well on these soft tires, trying to get some points out of this race. Yeah, the points totals for Phantom is, I mean, they have points, all 3 of them into the points, but 8, 9, and 10. Eager to move up the field, I think.
Yeah, scraping the bottom of the barrel tonight.
Yeah. Oh, a very deep send. Bong it too deep. Shiesty spun around there, just clipping the back end. And Shiesty will have something to complain about there. I think Bong it just deep on the brakes into that final turn.
Yeah, it was a bit clumsy from Bongit, I think, there.
Yeah, having a rough one tonight. Let's be said. Man, so the race up at the front, lap 26, it's pretty stabilized. Feeney holding a 1.4 second lead over Pontiac, who has got Owa in his DRS range, but it does feel that Pontiac's pace is the better of the two, because he is holding on to that place.
Oh, and we're looking at John the Prince on SP here.
John the Prince on SP. Oh, it's very close. SP still holds him off. So I'm getting distracted here. It's so demanding. She sees me here just staring at the screen. She doesn't know what I'm up to. And it's like, you want to pet me, I'm sure. Let's go action 6. Antonium's lined up. Can he grab some more places here? Threatening the inside is John the Prince. Looks like he's going to stick a wheel in, but is he offline? Because Antonium going around the outside, going to grab the place into 5th. Antonium, I think, has been the quickest man on track all night. He has had to make his way through the field a number of times, and here he is back into 5th place.
Yep, I'd have to agree with that. He has fought very hard all night. and has been on a charge, it seems like, since this safety car.
Yeah, I mean, on a charge all night. The spins, I think, may not have been his fault and has had to drive back through the field. This is like the third time at the moment, but here we go. John the Prince now sticking a nose in. Antonium sticks his butt in the way to cover him off, but down the back straight, looks like we're going to get a sin from John the Prince. He's much faster. DRS definitely assisting. Deep on the brakes is Antonium. Can he hold on? Yes, he does. Into 12, still has the inside line. Oh.
What a great move by Antonium to keep that place.
Really deep on the brakes. And you know what? The more I watch 11 and 12, the more I like that set, because you really can. If you hang it out around 11, you still have the inside line for 12, and you can kind of fight them off, because 12 is it's a luff field.
Yep.
If you've got the outside line, you're kind of screwed. Oh man, oh my God! So big.
What has happened?
Get a better angle at
what
that?
has happened into 17?
Bong it. Very deep on the brakes.
Oh, I think that was
Let's
Walrus.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, I saw the penalty from being applied to. Oh, it is Walrus. Into the pit is Bong it, and if Walrus and Bong it have come together, that's a team-on-team violence.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't want to see that. Man, it has been thrilling here in the back. I would think you could say that Owa, John the Prince, and Shiesty are taking home the most points simply because they have avoided all of the carnage that has gone on, and Antonium has lost a number of places yet again. I'm not sure whose fault it was, but it was a deep sin, let's say.
I don't know how this race is going to finish, but I know one thing for sure is that the Discord incidents chat will be lighting up tonight while I'm trying to sleep.
I'm gonna start some popcorn immediately. It's been a bit clunky, but man, it's Miami. It's just a track people still getting to know. Except up at the front, let's go Action 3. Pontiac Bandit just losing out. Owa finally finding his way through on the softer tire as Pontiac Bandit's tires approach 21 laps of age. Man, so let's go Action 1. Let's give Feeney a little due. It's looking like he's gonna take his second win with CCRL, and man, just really bringing it home for Speed Demons tonight. Feeney gonna take a victory, it's looking like.
Yep, he's done a great job in keeping the nose clean, taking advantage of the safety cars and pitting appropriately. So, yeah, hats off to Feeney tonight.
Hats off to the analysis. Owa very, very close to taking a victory. It would have been an amazing call given just how close everyone is here in the midfield to catch the right or to call the right victor. We are coming around the final turns now. On the final lap, Feeney leads. He's 1.2 ahead of Owa from the Green Goblins, who has second place, and Pontiac Bandit, a valiant effort, it must be said, takes the win in the sprint and is looking like he's going to grab the podium. Pontiac Bandit ready to race here in Miami. SP, it is a rainbow nearly for the top four. We're just missing Phantom's presence here in the top five. Across the line goes SP. It's going to be John the Prince in fifth. Across the line next is Shiesty. The Green Goblins are going to take the lion's share of points from the second event. It looks like Walrus will take 8th place, but after the penalties are applied, he'll lose 8th place to Hemphead, who had a good race. Anyote will grab the last points playing position, and Bong it, just I think a rough night Must be said.
Oof. Yep. And I would,
Must be
I'd
said.
love to be a fly on the wall in the steward's room this week. So we'll see more to come, folks. So I'm sure we'll have an update next week on results.
Yeah, there'll probably be some penalty times handed out tonight. I mean, you saw it. We saw it early under the first safety car. People missing their braking points already because you just when you race somewhere like Silverstone for years, really, your braking points are so natural. But Miami was released not that long ago, and so people just it's just you see things in Miami you don't see in other places just yet.
Yep, that's very true.
So yeah, a great win for Feeney. Congratulations there. A fun night for Pontiac. A rough one for Antonium. There was quite a story developing pretty much the entire race for Antonium. Just drama, drama, drama. And let's take a moment and just thank the stewards for what they do.
Yeah. Thank them in advance, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how much time they must put into every decision they have to make, and they've got to pump them out as fast as they can. As we need the official points total, but definitely looks like Green Goblins are gonna be the big team winners this evening.
Yeah, I was looking to
And
see points. I for some reason it's not letting me pull up points here on my end, but yeah, we'll update that probably Monday or Wednesday of next week. Just do an update pre-show on the results of tonight's Constructors Cup results.
so a fun one. Yellow Jackets on the board. Definitely took the most points out of the sprint and took decent points from the race. So they're gonna be. I mean, I think it was Journey that may have had the roughest evening between both races. But don't quote me on that. We'll have some points out soon. Um, but yeah, so the team's in position, but I think it's going to be the Green Goblins that will be leading as we head into the third event a month from now.
Yep, yeah, Leisig was in the chat rooting on the Green Goblins here at the finish. So, congrats to them. They another solid result.
Yeah, credit where credit's due. Leisig leading that team has managed them quite well this evening. Expect Green Goblins to be on top of the points for the Constructor Cup. A fun one, man. A lot. There wasn't a moment where you could look away from this race.
No, absolutely not. Drama throughout the race, action from start to finish, and that's what we like to see. That's what everyone tuning in wanted to see. So I'm sure everyone was treated nicely tonight. So
yeah, a fun one for sure. So thanks for joining us, everybody in the chat. We really appreciate you guys being here. And we'll look forward to seeing you Monday night for Pro Tier, and come back next Wednesday for Elite Tier's next round. It was a good one this evening. My name is Dresden.
Hey everyone, it's PK here, aka Trackside. It's been a great night. We're happy that you've come to racing here with us, and we look forward to seeing you next week. And keep living life to the checkered flag. Good night.
Night, everybody.
Do you want to know what it's like? How it feels behind the wheel. On the most exclusive asphalt in the world. 1,000 horsepower at your command. Speed like you've never known. Millimeters between fame and failure. forgotten. Take a seat.
Clap. 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 Make the cheeks clap.